So, it's part 2. Just got off the motherfucking phone with my man Kenny Walker, from Cleveland Street. You know what I mean? He's doing good things in the hood. I'm happy to hear about his success, his will and determination to make things happen and do for his people. So let me educate you. So this case right here with this is the part 2 of. Basically, this really started back in 2010, where the grandmom was making all these false reports. Now this chick lived across on the other side of town, and she making false reports to Child Protective Services. She done made altogether like 9 false reports. 5 of them, they quote unquote, they call it unsubstantiated. 4 of them, they deemed them not credible. They didn't want to deem them as harassment. They deemed them as not a credible report. How about that? Now, the shit kind of sickens me, right? Because you know how we is in Philly, but this Vegas, you know what I'm saying? And since ain't really nothing going on out here, they gotta eat. So they gonna try to prey on what they think is the weak. That's how they moving. They gonna try to prey on the weak that they think that they can get it off on. And me and you both know I ain't the one. So that's how this case goes on for so many years of false reports. It done went so crazy, whereas though I got the paperwork right here. I sued the old lady, and I sued the aunt, and I sued the father for defamation of character. Yeah, don't get it fucked up with me. You say some wild shit, you do some wild shit, and I know that you're gonna be a snitch, call the police. I can't come up and holler at you directly. I'ma sue you. I'ma take you to the bank. Yeah, because that's how you gotta be. You know what I mean? They already got a fucked up a perception of how us as a people are. You know what I mean? They think that, they put it out there that us as men, you know what I mean, people of our culture, people of our ethnicity, we weak. They done sold that off to our women, that we weak. That's why, our women is so quick to run down to get welfare, you know what I mean? Or so quick to, as soon as you have a kid with them, they running down there and cutting you out the kid's life. So you see how the children is in the neighborhood. All of a sudden, all these young men walking around with dresses and wigs and shit. You know what I mean? We ain't do that. The men ain't do that. You can't blame that on us. The men ain't do that. The women did it, feminizing the men. And I ain't no basher. I ain't no gay basher. But I'm just telling you the truth. Who did it? Who did it? So I wish nothing but success to you. You know what I mean? Get your education, continue to get your benefits, do whatever it is you're gonna do. You know what I mean? But hey, that's the price. That's the price you pay. You know what I mean? Your young baby boy is now wearing a wig and a dress. How about that? Get into that. You know what I mean? I just ain't for it. So, on another note, I sued the old lady because she needed to be sued. I sued her other daughter because she needed to be sued. And I sued the father because he needed to be sued. You know what I mean? And in order for them to try to win the case, what Child Protective Services, or more or less the judicial system down here, what they did is they go and they assign a part-time Child Protective Services judge as the arbitrator on the case. That's the insurance that they took out on the lawsuit, because if I win the lawsuit, then all of the how would you say, fixtures or statements and all this evidence that they use has to be removed, because now I have a judgment stating that it's untrue. Real talk. I ain't making it up, y'all. You know what I mean? This is the case number. You know what I mean? This is the case number. You know what I mean? Right here. That's the case number. You know, so you know that my hand is strong. My hand and my mind is strong. So I will put the pen down. You know what I mean? I will drag you up into the courtroom if you jump out there on me. You dig? Because that's how you gotta be out here. You know what I mean? You know, they all this stuff going on with your kids, and you hear about somebody did this and you did that. Guess what? First off, if you do something physically crazy to one of my children, yeah, I will get at you. But if you talk some wild ass shit about me and you fuck with my character, yeah, and you one of them kind of people, I will drag your ass in the court. If I can't smack the shit out of you, I will drag you in the court. You know what I mean? Why? Because I don't need the police to decide my matter. You know what I mean? But if you one of them people that you done drag me and then use the law on me in order to do what it is that you trying to do, you done lied on me and had me in front of them people, and you was wrong, you knew you was wrong, but you just didn't stop. Guess what? I'ma sue the shit out of you. Period, point blank. So, I'm down here, I'm still out here, you know what I mean? I'm suing people. The court system, they you know, what a lot of people don't know is Child Protective Services, they getting a check from federal government. Since they get a check from the federal government, the judge is getting paid off of Child Protective Services. Understand what I'm saying? The judges don't independently get paid. The judges get paid from Child Protective Services to handle the disputes over Child Protective Services. So it's a statute, I think it's the Child Protection Act. It's called the Child Protection Act. Child Protection Act was signed in the Congress or something like that by President Clinton. He signed the joint that creates funding for Child Protective Services, and that funding then gets dispersed to handle suits dealing with domestic violence, things that happen with your child, stuff of that nature. I'm not making it up. Google it. Google it. So that's why, say if you in court and you can't understand what the fuck is going on in your courtroom, is because these judges getting paid by the same people that you rumbling with sitting across the table from you. That's what's really going on. They getting paid. The judge getting paid. The prosecutor's getting paid by Child Protective Services. And they're going to come up with any and every way that Child Protective Services was right for what they did. Supreme Court, the state Supreme Court in on it. All them people in on it because that's how they getting money. The only way you can rumble them is if you take it to the feds. So, you know what I do? I take it to the feds because I'm built like that. So I take it to the feds, you know what I mean? And then everybody gets shook because they ain't think that I had it up here to take it to the feds. You can Google that too. Civil suit is in the feds. You know what I mean? Yeah, I sued them. You can read it online. That's how I'm getting down out here. Yeah. Sued them. So, yeah, this is 1983. Y'all don't know nothing about it. It's Title 42, 1983. Those right there is the civil suits when you sue people and that's public workers in they personal individual capacity and hold them liable for shit that they doing under the color of law. You know what I mean? So, you know, a lot of people do it whenever they get their ass whipped by the police or something like that, but it's deeper than that. It's deeper than that. You know what I mean? Because, see, all of them operating under insurance. It's called a hazard bond. So, you know, you can sue them on their insurance for doing their job, and then they can't work because they got to get insurance in order to do their job. Yeah. That's how deep I am with this shit. You know what I mean? Some workers are insured through statute, and some are insured through their own personal bonds and shit. So you sue them, and if you do it the right way, they can't work. That's why they got that domestic terrorist, that Patriot Act. That Patriot Act covered domestic terrorism because people was sitting there doing liens on people, and that ain't what you supposed to do. You don't do it like that. You know what I mean? You don't put liens on public officials and shit like that. That ain't how you do it. You know what I mean? That right there, that's extreme. Even though they'll do it to you, you can't do it to them. You know what I mean? But it's a way of suing them and putting the full court press down on them. So yeah, I sued them. I'm out here, I sued them. They ain't feeling it. Fuck them. You know what I mean? But what you expect when you do somebody wrong and they got sense, what you expect to happen? They gonna get at you. You reached out, you touched me. I'm gonna reach out and I'm gonna touch you back. But I'm gonna touch you the way that you thought I wouldn't touch you. I'm gonna put the pen down on you. You know what I mean? I'm gonna put the math down, put the pen down. I'm gonna show you how it's really getting down out here. You know what I mean? So that if you ever come in my community to do that to one of the children in my community or one of the people in my community, you're gonna think twice because you're gonna say, that nigga Pele is in that community. And if he catch wind of what you did, it's a high probability that he gonna be sitting there with the person you did it to like this, writing this shit down. Coming up with a way to knock your dick in the dirt. And get you booked and have you lose your job. Yeah. That's how I'm feeling, and that's how it is. So now I'm out here and they coming up with ways, they jacking the visits with my kid. You know, they violate my religious beliefs, you know what I mean? Because, you know, I don't eat no pork. You know what I mean? For those who know me, you know what I mean? I was raised Seventh-day Adventist, you know what I mean? I practice some Islam, you know what I mean? Whereas though, you know how I conduct myself on an everyday basis. You don't see me with no big beard, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, you know, us, you know, in Philadelphia, we in tune with Islam, you know what I mean? A lot of us, we in tune with Islam, we in tune with Christianity. We mainly is at peace with one another, you know what I mean? In the community, how we conduct ourselves and shit, you know what I mean? So it just is the way it is. But I don't eat pork, you know what I mean? On Friday, I do practice a Sabbath, you know what I mean? Where, you know, I won't work. You will catch me at the movies on Friday night. I won't work. And I will sleep in on Saturday until sundown. I will do that. And that's just what it is. So yeah, I sued them, and I'm maneuvering all through this. Everybody kind of like, you know, federal courts, you know, federal judge wasn't feeling it either, because all these judges, they all is cool with each other. Every judge trying to elevate to the next level. Every judge from this court trying to go to that court to get more money. You know what I mean? When you start banging out judges for violating your constitutional rights, and you start threatening their livelihood, because that's all it is they know how to really do, because some judges ain't even lawyers and shit, right? They done took a law course and all this and all that. Some of them might not be lawyers. Some of them, they go to get degrees, but they ain't took the bar, from my understanding. I may be wrong. Don't quote me on that one. You can quote me on everything else, but don't quote me on that one. But that's how they get money. You see what I'm saying? And this is how vicious the system is. I got a judge on a hearing master on my case, right? His name is Judge Norheim. Judge Norheim was involved in a guardianship scam. Him and Judge Hoskins was involved in guardian scams where they was taking people's children, right? Shit on the internet. Shit was on in the Nevada Sun. These dudes was involved in a scam where they was doing guardianship to elderly people or something like that. They took them out of the court, out of that part of the guardianship court, and put them in family services instead of just getting them the fuck out of them jobs. That go to show you that they take care of their own. Nobody questioned their integrity. Nobody did nothing. They returned the kids. So now, if they returned the kids, how you still got them dudes working? How you still got them dudes in the 8th Judicial District Court doing anything? How? See, this the shit really going on. Yeah, it's really going on. Google it. That's all I can tell you. Is Google it. You know what I mean? And it'll tell you exactly what it is. So I filed this joint up to the court, right? The judge in the federal court tell me that the judges got absolute immunity for their actions. And I knew for a fact that's a bold-faced lie. So I filed what is it called? Affidavit of bias and prejudice on the judge. You know what the judge did? The judge dismissed the case, took my money, and sent it to another case. Got off the case like that, behind me calling the judge out on being biased and prejudicial. Yeah, real talk. And dismiss the case without prejudice. For those who don't know what without prejudice means, it means that you can come back into the court and raise the issue again. That's what the judge did. Because what I do, touched her, County Mac shit, and one, you know what I mean? Got her out of there. I ain't making this up. Google it. You know what I mean? Google it. That's all you gotta do is Google it. So check it out. It's late, you know what I mean? Not too late, you know what I mean? It's like 5:15 around this joint. I like to send a shout out, you know what I mean, to my neighborhood, because when all that was going on, they was running up in people's houses, checking trunks. I was told they was picking people up and interrogating, you know what I mean, extended family members and shit off 100th Street. You know what I mean? Asking them where I was at, shit like that, put a lot of tension and shit. I just like to say, you know what I mean, I really appreciate them hold me down like that in North, and that's why I love my community like that, That's why I put the phoenix on my page, because that's the bird that is one of our symbols in our neighborhood, in our community center, is the phoenix. We rise from the ashes and shit, you know what I mean? And that's what it is we do. We immortal. So, everybody who from that neighborhood know that's what it is. We cut from a different cloth out there like that. You know what I mean? From 22nd and Lehigh, you know what I mean, all the way up to Cumberland Street. So, this is video 2. And I'm gonna end it on that note. Anybody got any questions, you know, hit me up. And I'm gonna address in my next video. I'm gonna address that shit that happened in Florida for everybody who wanna know about it. And then I'll probably address that shit that happened with the baby moms with the Tiger Woods and the TMZ. And I'm gonna leave it at that, because ain't really, you know, those are the only real issues I really wanted to address, you know, to enlighten people on this shit and go from there. So peace.